All right, this might be a bad idea, but literally just gonna do this first take, the raw clip of my first video, I guess. Um, I just want to really just give clarity on really what I'm doing or why I'm doing it, and really my thought process to why you're watching this video or why I'm even posting a video or just posting content in general. And that's literally just because, just why not, right? So as a kid, I've always been shy. Like you ask anyone who's known me at school, known me on the like soccer team. I used to play soccer. um, like I was the shyest kid, right? I always thought of what people thought of me. I always thought of how I looked, right? I did get bullied a little bit for the way I looked back when I was in middle school, even a little bit of high school. But this is not a victim story. This is just to say that I just got tired of it, right? Most of us would think that people are thinking of us constantly, thinking of us like of our flaws, or just, you know, I just got tired of it, basically. And I realized that I was just letting people dictate where I wanted to do in life, just wanted to do in general, right? People who I didn't even look up to dictate what I was gonna do just to please them, even though I either hated them or I just didn't know them well, or I wasn't even friends with them, or it was either like the popular kids at school. I was afraid of like what they thought, like, oh shit, what I don't want to wear this because it might look like this guy's outfit or something. Like I might look like a copycat or you know something stupid like that. And I don't know. I was just always. I felt like I was always under the radar of other people's opinions, and it just feels you just feel trapped. You want to do certain things, but then it's like, but I don't want to face the consequences of people thinking I'm weird or people thinking that this is I don't know. It's just like I don't want to be look like I want to be someone or something, or like a wannabe influencer, or want to be something. I don't know, whatever it is. And I was, and now I really came to terms last year, even though I was so doubtful, and I still am doubtful. I still am sometimes, not as much as before. And I posted this on my story back in July. I was like, if you have doubt, that means you're striving for something that's pretty much almost out of reach. Like if you didn't have doubt, it wouldn't be fun, right? If you knew you would hit the goal 100% of the time, there would be no thrill. There would be no story, I guess. And doubt just means that you're kind of aiming for something that you think you might not get. That's what makes it exciting and that's what makes you want it. Because let's be honest, if I were to tell you that, hey, you're gonna do this at this exact moment, would you even get excited or anything? It's the process of getting there that makes it fun. Even though during the process you're kind of scared because you're just like there's always that back of that the inner voice in the back of the head saying, "But what if you don't? What if you don't? What if you can't do it? What if it doesn't work out? What if it doesn't go the way you want it to?" And we have to actually live with that. We have to live with that. But there's always that like little chance that it's like, what if you what if it doesn't happen the way you want it to? Or what if you don't get the way you want? And if if that scares you too much, then it's probably not meant for you. But you have to just learn to live with the possibility that you just might not succeed. Not everyone succeeds. But I'm learning to live with it. I'm okay if it doesn't work out. I just want to know that I tried. I just want to know that I tried because I feel like if I live with the fact that I didn't try, I would regret that so much. So the process of getting to somewhere you want to go, even though it's like so scary and so hard, it's the acceleration that you feel. If you were in a car, let's say, and you're at 5 miles an hour, right? At some point, you don't really feel it. Five to 10 miles an hour, you don't feel it. You're just on your phone listening to music. But if you feel from 10 miles an hour to 60 miles an hour, you feel that big jump. It's the acceleration that you feel. But if you were just born, let's say at 60 miles an hour, then this is normal for you. If that makes sense. If you're just at 60 miles an hour, like in that you're used to that, it just feels normal at some point. Like when you go on the freeway, you feel the acceleration. But once you're on the freeway for like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, that 60 miles an hour feels like nothing. You're just there. And so, and then when you slow down, you feel that. You feel the regress. And then when the speed limit is 40, you slow down, you feel the slowing down, and then after 5 minutes you're like there. The point is you just feel the journey. The journey feels super tough because you're afraid of not just failing. I'm not afraid of failing, but I used to be super afraid of what I used to be super afraid of failing in front of others. And I was afraid of trying and then failing in front of others, just falling on my feet while everyone's just looking at me. That's what I was afraid of. Not more of so fail. Because you could play like, you could play anything. You could play a video game and you can lose so many times, but you wouldn't really be fearful of anything because no one's watching you. Now, unless you're streaming, that's totally different. But my point is that most of us are not just afraid of failing because if we could fail in private, then we'd be okay with that. We'd be fine. But the fear of failing in front of others is what really gets us. At least it gets me. And that's what really held me back from like doing a lot of things back in middle school, back in high school, uh, back in when I was playing soccer before I got injured. Like I was afraid of like losing the ball. I was afraid of getting the ball sometimes because I was like, oh, what if I lose it though? I'm like, fuck. So what's the point of me playing? But that fear is something that I felt for so long that I was like, I just got tired of it. I just got super tired. I was like, I was just living for the pleasures of other people that I wasn't even doing what I wanted for myself. It's like I want to post this content. I want to go try this new sport out. I want to do this, but I'm afraid of just failing in front of others. That's what really got me. That's what got me, or embarrassing myself. And it wasn't until like last year where I was just like, I'm a grown ass adult and I'm afraid of what others think of me, who I don't even talk to anymore. Because once high school left, I didn't really keep in touch with many people. I'll be honest. I didn't really do it. And yeah, of course, we like message here and there. But I was like, this is who I was afraid of. This is the opinions of people who I was afraid of. These people who we just graduated and then just all like, well, we didn't all fell apart. Of course, there's like some friend groups that like went to different schools or still hang around each other because they were like the boys or the girls and in high school, like those friend groups. But like at least for me, it was just like we just all went our separate ways. And I was like, this is who I was afraid of. People who wouldn't even reach out if I was at my lowest point. Don't get me wrong, there's people who care for me and I care for others. But just having the fear of failing in front of those people who wouldn't even think of me every day, they're not even thinking of me. They're not even thinking of you. And I was just like, what have I been waiting for? Which is why I was like, okay, the easiest way, let's say, to get over this is to just post. Post what I want. Post what I just feel like posting. Post anything that could help someone else. Post like anything motivational. I've always been motivational. I've always been like that motivational person, to just lift someone up, or because I've gone through some trials and tribulations through my life, and now I get to just teach that to some of my friends. I get to show my friends like, hey, I've kind of went through a similar situation. This is what I did. Hey, you should try this. You got your heart broken. You should try this. You tore your ACL like I did. You should try to do this. And there's people who message me like on TikTok or Instagram that also like went through a heartbreak or went through a injury, that message me like, hey, how do you pursue? How do you keep going? Like, hey, I had this exact same situation. Can you tell me how to recover? And I would give him the light of the time of day, because I went through that. I know how painful it is. And so it's just to show that I'm not perfect. I just learned a lot of shit through the hard ways. Us humans, we learn through shit either the hard or the harder way. And I learned through the hardest way possible. Not possible, but just a really hard way. A lot of things. Like, I'm just showing that we're not perfect and that everyone isn't perfect. Therefore, you shouldn't be expecting praise from people who are even perfect. Only perfect person is God. Not to sound cliche, but that's the truth. You should only fear him. That's it. That's the only person I fear. You know why? Because when we pray for things, and then eventually, you know, if we like, how do you say it? I guess we're doing good behavior, we'll eventually get it. Okay? Not the best way to explain it, but that's what I mean. If we pray for things and we are still like serving good behavior, we'll eventually get what we pray for usually. Okay? But the same way goes vice versa. If you keep sinning and sinning, you don't get punished right away. You get punished later on. The same way that God answers your prayers in a delayed time, he will punish you later on. And that's what's been scaring me. Because I'm not the perfect person. I've overcame some vices that really haunted me back then, and I paid the price for it. And then I got over them. And then now when I go back to them here and there, I'm like, God is going to punish me for this. God is going to punish me. You should only fear him. Only fear him. Not anyone else. No one is as perfect as God and Jesus Christ. I've been trying my best to get closer to them recently, because I did fall off with them in the past, but then much recently I've been getting so close, and it's been blessing me, getting me through everything that I've went through, basically. So I guess the message for the first video is just like, just don't let anyone else, of course, if they're of higher authority in a certain aspect, of course, listen to them. But don't let anyone dictate who you're going to be or what you're going to do. Or don't let them make fun of you for at least trying, for trying to get something. Cuz at least you tried. I could live with that. If I don't succeed in whatever, at least I tried. I could live with that. But not trying because I cared about what XYZ thought or ABC thought, that even though I don't talk to them anymore, or embarrassing myself like in front of these people who don't even know me personally, I couldn't live with that. that would make me a bitch. That would make me just I could know. So do what you please in a good way. Okay, do what you please. Follow whatever it is, because at least you can live with the fact that you tried. Okay, I was a shy kid my whole life, so take it from me. There's like nothing to fear, and if any hate comes your way, it's a good thing. I promise you. But I can cover that later on. So I guess that's it. So.